This week on Post Baby Body, we're looking at a few simple yoga exercises. Now, yoga is a great way to strengthen and relax the body. Now, to put me through my paces is Layla Corin, a qualified yoga instructor. Over to you, Layla.
Sure, thanks Meredith. So, today we're going to do some really lovely simple yoga which can help strengthen the body after you've had a baby. But before undertaking any quite strenuous exercise, I'd recommend to go see a doctor, especially if you've had a caesarean, because they need to give you a bit of advice. But otherwise, if you're feeling fit and healthy and you've got some advice, then we should probably do some yoga.
Yeah.
So let's start with something quite simple, coming up onto the knees and sitting back on your heels, just like this. So this can be done at any time during the day, and it's even if your baby's there, you can have a little interact with the baby, or if it's asleep, you can have some nice time to yourself. Okay, so from here, we're just going to stretch forward, and if you need to, bring the knees apart, let the tummy come in between, having a nice stretch forward. It's called the salute to the moon. That's it. Really lovely for all the arms and shoulders, and for the lower back. If your neck hurts, you just make two little fists and you rest the head like that. It's a very relaxing one. And it's even nice to do just before you go to bed. Okay, and then just come up. And straight from there we can go into a favourite for pregnancy yoga, which is the cat. So coming onto the hands and knees, spread the fingers nice and wide. Nice strong arms and shoulders. It can help really support, because you're going to be lifting your baby a lot and breastfeeding, so you need to use all of those muscles. So from here, we're going to inhale, look up, and let the tummy go down, the bottom goes up, and exhale, arching, chin onto the chest, pushing up off the ground, really opening up the back of the shoulders. So you just continue that at your own pace, whatever your breath dictates. You can do it for as long as you like, or as short as you like.
Life moving too fast, a little out of breath? What if I could show you a way to increase your energy and your lung capacity? Well, I can, and it's coming up next.
Today's workshop focuses on asthma because it disrupts the lives of nearly 20 million Americans. Asthma restricts the places you can go and may limit your physical activity. Now, there's no cure for asthma. However, breathe easy. I've got a pose for you. One technique that's been proven to clear the respiratory system is called Cobra Pose, and Jamie will help me demonstrate. Try this at home. Simply come onto your mat. We'll start off on the stomach. Bring the hands on the outside of the shoulders or chest. And from here, simply press down through the shoulders, lifting the crown of the head toward the sky. Beautiful. Each inhale, she's getting long. On the exhale, she's pressing down with strong shoulders. Now, there's a big tendency to collapse in the shoulders here. If this is the case, again, lower a little bit more weight down and then press down strong. There's also a tendency to flare the elbows. This is as uncomfortable as it looks, so be sure to keep the elbows tucked next to the ribs. This keeps it safe, comfortable, and opens up the heart and chest. Now, there's life to every single pose. This pose, on the inhale, you're getting long, elongating the spine, and on the exhale, you're pressing down through strong shoulders, opening the heart, the chest, and the lungs. Beautiful. Fingers are spread, palms are flat, face is soft. It's a beautiful standalone pose. It's also a great modification for upward-facing dog. Whenever that gets too intense, just draw the legs down. Beautiful job. Thank you. Now, the Cobra Pose stretches your chest and lungs, stimulates your abdominal organs, helps relieve stress and fatigue. It opens the heart and lungs, and of course is therapeutic for asthma.
If you can't fall asleep, you might want to make like a cobra or bend like a dog. Hi, I'm Veronica with WatchMojo.com, and today yoga instructor Jen LaRock is showing us some postures for a better night's sleep.
I'm going to give you a few quick kind of forward bends. So I was saying in general, forward bends are going to be something that are going to calm the hormones in the body, calm the nervous system, the adrenals. So all we're going to do is just place the hands, place the feet or the legs parallel to each other and hip width apart. And you can even spread the toes so that everything's active. And now even make the legs super active so the muscles hug onto the bones of the legs all the way around, and even push the thigh bones down. Okay, place the hands down behind you, and then even lift the heart, lengthen the spine. And now you're welcome to stay here, but the more that you fold, probably the better. Keep the shoulder blades onto the back and slowly with the heart move forward. And you can just bring the hands wherever they go, or if you can even, touch your toes, that's fine. If you have just gotten up out of bed, what you can do is place a pillow maybe over your legs or a few pillows and stack them so that you can simply just lie over completely supported. Another one, you come back up, it's going to be the similar thing. You're going to take the right foot back, you're going to bend the knee, and you're going to bring the back leg parallel to the back of your mat. So bring it back just a little bit, yeah. And then you're just going to once again take a breath in, long spine, and on the exhale then bow forward, and you just go to where you can go, to where is comfortable. Actually, another even option to this is if you just bow right in the V of the legs, and you can place again pillows or whatever is going to make you the most comfortable, even a blanket that's folded, just be creative, especially if either you're just going to bed or you've just kind of, needed to really, really get up out of bed. What I'm going to do for Veronica here is place the blanket right across the mat. So bring the knees onto the blanket and bring the knees wide. So mounds of the big toes together, and then you're going to take the bolster, you're going to bring it between the legs, and on the exhale just bow over and walk the hands forward. And what you can do here more is keep the elbows close into you so that it becomes more of a cozy pose, and you can turn your head to the right or to the left. Minimum 3 minutes, chill out, relax, bring the breath evenly into the front of the body, evenly into the back of the body. And then, when you're ready, where the hands are, push the hands into the earth, and then you come all the way up. The next pose that we're going to do is called supported bound angle, or supported Baddha Konasana. So the bolster, the blanket's going to stay the same, but the bolster you're going to pull back, and then Veronica is going to come and just kind of sit right here. And you're going to place the lower back right up against the bolster. Now, the bolster sometimes can be too rounded for the lower back, so it doesn't need to be a bolster. It can be blankets that you have on your bed. It can be a bunch of blankets that you're simply folding up. And then what Veronica's going to do is just take a breath in, bring the bottoms of the feet together. She's going to bring them quite close to the body. And again, if you can't bring them close in, not a problem if you have knee pain or any sort of pain. And then you're just going to once again breathe in, breath in, and on the exhale just lean back. So you can just walk back with your hands. You're going to open the palms up towards the ceiling. Does this feel pretty good? Yeah. So here, sometimes there can be an extra bit of either tension, or for some people, depending on the flexibility of your hips, there can be a little bit too much kind of stretch on the inner thigh. So what I'm going to do is take this blanket and just fold it and support it underneath the knees. So you're going to hold this for somewhere, minimum 3 minutes if you can do it. Up until 10 minutes if you want, depending on how good you or not good you feel here. And then when you're ready, you're simply going to bring the knees in to center, and you're going to make your way onto your right or to your left side, and then come up to sitting slowly. What I'm going to have Veronica do now is something called Vipariti Karani. It means legs up the wall. So it pretty much is the name. So what I'm going to have Veronica do is lie in a fetal position with the bum up close to the wall. You're going to have a blanket somewhere kind of close to you, lengthwise across the mat. And so she's not going to bring the buttocks too close to the wall. You're going to be just a little bit of a space. And again, don't stress yourself out about this kind of stuff, because you're here to relax. So there's not much you can do super wrong here, okay? So now she's just going to turn, and she's going to keep the legs straight and lift the legs straight up the wall. So the feet can either be close or they can be hip width apart. If you push your feet into the wall, we'll just show everybody, the blanket can be too far forward and then lower down. And this means that the pelvis doesn't have a chance to drop and settle. That's what you want. And then it can also be too far back where the bum is almost coming off of the blanket. So you want somewhere in the middle. It's always about finding balance, right? So where the lower back, the sacrum settles into the blanket, and there's a little bit of a drop of the leg bones into the pelvis. If you're having somebody do restorative with you, they can, give you a nice little push, but if you can try to let the shoulders roll back and the arm bones roll back, that's beautiful. and you can close the eyes and settle. I had an amazing teacher that used to swear by this if she got small amounts of sleep and really needed kind of a pick-me-up, that when she did this for 15 minutes, it would equal about 2 hours sleep, and I think it's documented somewhere. But anyway, so I would suggest this pose for somewhere of like 3 to 5 minutes. Just before you go to bed is one of those restorative poses. Try not to do it, for 10 minutes might be a little bit long. Now to get out of the pose, Veronica's simply going to bring the knees into the chest and then roll to the side. You can even take a moment, settle with the arm or the hands right underneath the head. So remember, like in our days, we rush and we move and we stress about big things and small things. So remember that you're trying to chill out, you're trying to settle. And so just take your time, just stay in the moment. And on your own time, you can use both hands to push yourself into the earth and then come up to sitting. And that should be a good kind of beginning to your sleep problems.
Exhale, place your hands on the floor, bend your knees as deeply as you need to, and step your feet back into an upper push-up position. So drop the shoulders away from the ears. Now really focus some attention here. We're going to be here for a second, but that's okay. We want to start to generate some heat and some energy in the body. So I want you to lift in the abdominals. I want your tailbone to be heavy and your legs to be super strong. So press. But make sure you're not locking out those elbows, that they're actually a little soft, and you're squeezing the muscles of your bicep and tricep into the bone. Please drop your knees anytime you feel like you need to. Now, with all the strength in your arms, see how slowly you can bend your elbows and lower your chest to the floor. Nice. Hang in there, and then come all the way down. Now, let your feet and your legs go long behind you. Keep your hands next to your chest. Squeeze your elbows into the body, and then start to pull the heart forward. Lift. Roll the shoulders down your back. Let your legs reach back. Now feel the contraction through the upper back and lengthen the lower back. Take one more deep breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, just tuck your toes. Press your hips back. And then just lift your tailbone high. Drop your head and breathe. Now take a second to just kind of walk it out a little bit. Oh, let those hips open up. Nice. And press. Now let's take one more inhale. Press both heels down. Now as you exhale, look forward and take as many steps as you need to bring those feet up again between the hands. Drop the shoulders, place the hands on front of the calves, press the heart forward out into a tabletop. Spine gets long, heart comes forward, and then exhale, melt in half. Oh. Now press into those feet and let's slowly just wiggle our way up. Oh. Oh, just wiggle it out. Just make sure you're not holding on to too much tension. Let it go. Now let's take a deep breath. Inhale, lift. Hold it here, groove it down. Inhale, lift it up. Groove it down. You're doing great. Breathe, lift. Let your heart lift. And melt. Nice. Deep breath, take it up. Groove it down. Oh. Now that we're starting to warm up, I want you to really start to get into that groove. Yeah? Let your knees bend a little bit more. Let those arms express a little more. Lift. Take it down. Now let's hold here. Bring the feet together. Squeeze them tight so your big toes touch. And you draw the inner thighs together. Now open out the arms, lift the heart. Now I want you to act like there's an imaginary chair behind you and you're going to sit in it. So stick that booty out and start to sway. There you go. Now as you go down, only go as low as is comfortable for you right now. Again, the more and more you do this, the lower and lower you'll go because those thighs are going to get really strong. Now let's go low. Now really sway that booty back there. I want you to act like I just sprayed Windex on your back wall and you're going to wipe it down with your backside. Let's go. Sway it out. Yes. Now I know you really start to feel some heat here. See if you can breathe into it. Don't run from it. There we go. Now let's hold it center and just bounce. Just bounce. Shoulders down. Now inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it down. I know those legs are getting tired. Hold it here. We're just going to reach the arms out. You're going to reach out. Push. Sitting deep into that squat as long as you can. 4 and 3. Oh, feeling good. Take a deep breath. Inhale, lift, straighten up. Now remember to dive off that cliff right here. Reach over and melt in half. Drop the head. Oh. Inhale, gaze halfway up. And exhale, hands on the floor. Step your feet back. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. And hold this position again. So really squeeze those muscles of the arm into the bone. Hold. If you need to drop your knees to do the push-up, do that now. If not, slowly lower the body. Slow. Let your hips melt.